Hi everyone, it's Leilani. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be working on another 12 by 12 layout using the Prima 31 collection. So for this layout, I'm actually going to do another multiple picture layout. So I'm going to be using 4 photos, and I really love using multiple photos. I think I've mentioned that before, but I just seem to have a more fun time whenever I'm doing multiples as opposed to one large picture. So I was pretty excited to do this layout. I've been kind of saving it because I was debating whether or not to use the Prima 31 collection. But believe it or not, I don't have very much pattern paper. I just don't keep a ton of it around. Typically I buy something and then I'll just kind of use it up. So I just have a small stack of paper that I have available, and some of them came from like different kits, like maybe Paper Person or something like that, where they give you a few sheets. So they're kind of random papers. So I knew I wanted to document these pictures whenever I met one of my best friends in the world, Casey, her daughter, Andy, a few weeks ago. So these are really special photos to me, but I didn't know if I wanted to use Halloween paper. But then I decided this layout, of course, will be placed in my just main like Project Life 12 by 12 album. So the 2 weeks that this will be sandwiched in between, I used the Prima 31 collection, and then I ended up using the Prima 31 for my layout of my birthday, which is one of my last videos on here. So I thought, what the heck, I might as well go with it, because then everything right in that section will kind of be cohesive. And also the fact that it is so pastel and light colors, I think it does still work with like the baby photos, even though these aren't necessarily Halloween themed. They were taken in October, so I think it all works out pretty well. So I had seen a random photo of a layout. It really didn't end up looking anything like it, but I kind of scrap lifted the idea of having 4 different blocks of, theirs were like color blocked, 4 kind of rectangles going down like that in the middle of their layout. And I just used 4 different patterns from the Prima 31 collection. And then I printed my photos off. I think these are about a 2.5 by 3 inch photo, and I printed them all off at the same size. So I had 3 pictures that pretty much looked the same, of me holding baby Andy, and then one of Andy wearing the onesie that I had gotten her that says Aunt Lay loves me. So I definitely wanted to document all of these photos. So even though they all kind of look similar, I think it's kind of cool to have them all the same size on almost like a photo strip type vibe. So then even though they all look the same, I think it kind of flows well. So now I'm just going to adhere down these 4 strips of pattern paper. So what I decided to do as well is I'm adhering down these 3 just with my regular adhesive. But then for this 4th one, that's kind of one of the ones in the middle, that is the rectangle that I'm going to place the picture of Andy by herself. So I thought that I would pop this one up on Pop Dots, just so that photo, there's a little bit more like emphasis on that photo since it was of her. And it's subtle, but I think it's really nice, especially in person when you're flipping through the album. You can really like tell that that one is like coming at you a little bit more. So I liked doing that. So yeah, I'm really excited to be documenting these pictures since I got like a few pictures from that day, and this was, the first time that I'd ever met her ever. She was almost 2 weeks old at this point. So she's just a tiny little thing, and I was really excited to meet her. And this was during, I think it was earlier in the week before my birthday. So whenever I did the Project Life spread, I decided to just not document any of the pictures of me with Andy and just kind of stick to like a birthday theme, because I knew that I would do like an entire layout devoted to just meeting her. So I really liked that I did that. So as you can see, I took the little 3x4 card pack also from this collection, and I just cut off from one of the cards the little sentiment that says "You are my pumpkin," which I thought was pretty cute. And then I wanted something to kind of bring in, like to anchor this to kind of more towards the bottom of the spread, or at least, anchor those 4 pieces of pattern paper. So I wanted to use one of the only like dark kind of more easy pattern, since there's just the little star and it's also the black, I decided to use a strip of that and just kind of tore it and added it right under all 4 of the rectangles. Now you may have noticed I had already used some of this paper to punch out some of my little stars like previously, probably for my October daily. So I simply just put a little smaller piece of the black paper behind it. You can't really tell. I mean, yeah, if you're examining the spread, you're going to notice it, but I don't think it really takes anything away. So for a little bit, I do put this little ephemera piece on top of it, but that will be removed here in a little bit. But that's the second half of the card that I use for the sentiment, and I don't end up using it on this layout, but I will probably use it for October Daily since I already cut it out. So one of the things that this Prima paper pad has, I think these might be like 4x6 size cut apart sheet, but they're like already made little journaling squares. So I would really love it if they were 3x4s because they would fit in Project Life, but they're a little larger, but I've been using them a lot anyways. So I decided to just tear off the top that said like Halloween night, and I'm trimming off the sides a little bit so it's not so big, and I'm going to end up using that for my journaling. So I had kind of a lot to say since this was the first time that I met Andy, so I go ahead and do my journaling here, and then I am going to add it right onto the rectangular strip there with Andy with the baby picture. So I thought that that looked nice because it just brings in more emphasis to that one picture in particular. And since it's the one photo that kind of stands out, since the other 3 look almost identical, I thought it was pretty cool. So I'm adding the pop dots to just the lower part and just adding adhesive to the top so that it will all be the same, amount off the page. And now I'm just going to kind of maybe add a couple embellishments, and then we have to get a title going on. So this Prima collection, I have just really loved it this year. As you might know, now I am doing my October daily over on Patreon. So I will leave a link below if you're at all interested in checking that out. I would love to have you over there. It's a really fun community. It's very community based. So we're doing like Zooms where we're getting to know each other and we're dressing up for Halloween. It's super fun. And we're doing a lot of great things over there. And one thing, of course, that I am doing basically with my Patreon in general is I'm going to be working on one project each month. So this month is October Daily. Now I am going to do a flip through whenever October is over for YouTube. So you will still see my October Daily, but all of the processes will be saved just for Patreon exclusive content. So yeah, link below if you're interested. But regardless, I'm using the Prima 31 collection for my October daily. And so it's kind of been a little small low-key goal of mine to use it up as much as I can. So I don't care if I use every single piece, but something that I'm trying to do is use as much of the paper pad as I can while it's October and I'm documenting things that would like work for this theme of, the paper. So really all I bought was the Prima 31 collection 12 by 12 paper pad and the 3 by 4 little pad, and then also the ephemera pack. So I mean, I'm doing pretty good. Most of it is gone. I think by the end of October, I will have really made a dent in it because I have used it for my entire October daily, and then also did 2 Project Life spreads and now 2 12 by 12 layouts. So I'm pretty happy that I've been knocking it out. So as you can see, I added my title. So I decided to call it Instant Besties, and both of those are just random alphas that I have in my stash. So I thought that those worked really well. I've used both of those, I think, for my Project Life spreads with this collection, but they just work really well. And then, of course, I am adding in all of the little sprinklings of stars, which I think just really set it off. And I never feel like my layouts are complete at all without the stars. So I do have a few that are punched out of the Prima paper. And then, of course, I grabbed my little gold star dish and use some of those as well. So I also kind of outlined the outside of the entire layout. I just think that makes it look finished, especially whenever I use a piece of white paper to start off with. It just kind of makes it look finished and like I thought about the whole layout. I think I just really like the way that that ends up looking. So Yes, I hope that everyone is having a good October. I can't believe that we are nearing the end. I know we really just have, maybe one solid week until the big day is here. So that is just flying by. But I've had a wonderful October, and this was definitely one of my fondest memories from this month. So all in all, I am really glad that I was able to kind of make it Halloween themed because it was a big Halloween moment for me, or a big October moment. And Andy was born right at the end of September, so she's right there, a Libra baby, just like I am, and just like her mom. So I'm glad to be able to kind of document it with this beautiful paper. So I really like the way that this one is turning out. You'll notice that I added the little pink tickets poking out of the bottom under my journaling. And then I added a little piece of a tag to that second photo. And I just put a little bit of twine in there, some pink twine that I think is really cute. And I'm adding on some little puffy bats to kind of do a little finishing touch. And then I think one of the last things that I do, I'm going to, of course, add my Heidi Shine. That also just kind of sets off the page and always makes it look kind of finished, and almost makes it look like you really did like a big piece of mixed media when all you did was just shake on a little bit of this Heidi Shine. So I really always love the way that that ends up looking. So I'm going to add a few small stars, and that is going to be it for this layout. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this layout process. I do have a few other ideas for upcoming videos, but I've been doing a lot of layouts lately. So if you did enjoy it, please give me a like, and please also consider subscribing, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye guys.